What's up, everyone? So today I want to take you guys through my current training routine for LooksMaxing and longevity. So let's get into it. So what are my goals with my training? So I think my three main pillars are improving and maintaining my physique, getting some enjoyment out of my training, and staying away from overtraining and injuries. So if we look a little bit more about these three pillars, when I think about improving and sort of maintaining my physique, just to give you guys a little bit of a background, I've been training for a while and I used to sort of be what you would call really like a gym maxer. So I was really into bodybuilding previously, and then I sort of got more into cardio and boxing, and then sort of changed my physique, got a lot leaner to now the point where, being natural, I really don't have that great genetics for being big. But to be honest, I prefer being this way, um, just because I feel a lot healthier and I kind of enjoy, the cardio aspect of it. And it feels like a much more natural homeostasis point for my actual physique and health. But when I am in the gym, I'm focusing on aesthetics and really trying to avoid falling into some of these male gaze like training traps that you'll see. Because, what am I going to think about specifically while I'm in the gym now? Like totally focused on looks maxing, mainly shoulders, trying to get more width because I sort of have narrow clavicles, more back width, once again to accentuate that V taper. So I'm not going to be doing leg training. I'm really just focusing on shoulders, back, and then, arms to sort of round out my physique as well. But I could make a full, video on actual exercise selection if people think that'd be worth it. But I also want to make sure I'm doing, some type of cardio or really just what I view as calorie burning, just to help make staying lean, a lot easier. Because appetite control can sometimes be a problem, and you really want to maximize how lean you are, both from a physical perspective and really facially, being the key point where you can really maximize the ROI of being lean. And when I say, cardio, I am doing boxing if we look at my training schedule on the right. But, when I'm doing cardio on sort of my like weight training days, it really just means sort of like getting in steps, doing, a little bit of walking, for the most part. So it's not really demanding, and it sort of ties in with my, longevity goals and staying away from overtraining and injuries. And then we look at enjoyment. Like I mentioned, I don't really want to go back down the point where, trying to max out squats and, deadlifts, kind of, you know, putting a strain not only on my longevity, but really just saying, okay, like right now, I really enjoy doing boxing, and I think that provides other sort of mental benefits as well, as long as you're not actually destroying your mind or brain, better said, by doing a lot of sparring. But just kind of being open to like my training should be flexible in general, and understanding that the gym, it's really not that time efficient for looks maxing. Like you want to be getting sleep, you want to be doing all these other things that'll pay dividends over the long term, and like really just trying to be a gym bro is not really going to give you this huge ROI if you don't understand where your other priorities should be, which mainly means like your face and potentially other areas of life. And my last point I've sort of alluded to is just staying away from overtraining and in injuries, to maximize longevity. Just because I have a habit of trying to overdo things if I get really into them, to try to view the gym and working out as something that's less of an emphasis compared to how much time I've spent in the past. Because I really was sort of going down the path of broadening the gym, but I really loved bodybuilding. So that's why I can really provide a lot more insight on actual training as well. So this ties in with my current training schedule. So I have an upper body day, and I'm also doing abs. And then on Tuesday, I'm doing boxing and abs. Um, I don't really like doing abs back to back, but recently I had a more divided training schedule. But then I had to remove a boxing day just because doing a lot of boxing, you can run into some like elbow and forearm and wrist issues, and I kind of decided to step back a day. So now it's just kind of my new tweak schedule a little bit. Um, there's some optimization that could be done if I were to give you guys more details on how this actually came about. But nonetheless, Wednesday is going to be push and then sort of that light cardio. Thursday is going to be pull, light cardio. Friday's going to be boxing and abs. Ideally, I do the boxing session at my actual boxing gym. And then Saturday is heading to the boxing gym in the morning. And then Sunday is pretty much a rest day. I usually do neck training that day, and then I do like cardio. But when I say cardio, I'm really talking about just walking. So it's pretty much putting no stress on my body. So the reason why I do think it's important, just to be hitting the gym as well, is actual collagen stimulation and really just maximize your health as well. We know that looks maxing really can be health maxing in a lot of ways. So we want to be consistent, and training 6 days a week like this. I'm pretty well equipped, and this is the one thing I do like about doing boxing is it builds up your cardio, so these other days become less taxing as well. But I'm at a point where doing a training week like this is really not that much for me. I mean, it's pretty much 60 minutes a day. The weight training sessions are usually about 35 to 40 minutes. And then I'll do like the walking or such for 20 minutes. On the Sundays, I'll do more like an hour or something. Um, but the boxing with abs, that sort of day, that's usually like a little bit over 30 minutes of boxing and then like 20 minutes of abs. So it's really not that time consuming. I feel a lot better, doing something like this every day. And then when I do have the occasional like vacation or days off, you feel good. And you really don't have to stress too much about it. And then along with this, I'm doing neck training 3 times per week, which is typically Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Once again, this isn't putting much extra demand. I mean, you're pretty much just doing a few neck exercises, and I'm done with it in 20 minutes. And that's really, once again, just to, build out the neck so I can get it that 1-to-1 ratio with the jaw. And that's pretty much, my training goals. So let me know if you guys have any actual questions or specifics on anything, or if you guys, what other content you want to see. But once again, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video.